If I ever heard nonsense, is the poor technique nonsense. What's happening, YouTube? What's going on? So, my name is Albert. Did you see the thumbnail? Very poor technique. Oh my God, that freaking irks me. Oh, it irks me. So I'm gonna share, man, some stuff, man, from the wisdom of this soon-to-be 60-year-old. I'm already saying that I'm 60. Yo, 1 month away, bro, and I'm 60, man. Enough wisdom. And so, man, this stuff with poor technique, bro, it seems to be, right, a nonsense of a spiel that's been going on for years of just people saying right and wrong, this is the right way, this is the wrong way, and it pretty much gives someone this sense of like, oh, I'm intelligent because they were shown the right way from someone that's credible, and so now they're repeating it. That's it. That's all it is. It's nothing like that makes any sense to any realistic factors that presents itself, or there's no assessing. And so what I'm gonna do, man, is that I'm gonna freaking roast this guy. And I'm sorry, if the guy who wrote that comment sees this is nothing against you, but the roast is against the many that poor technique, oh, you did it wrong, but they leave it there. They don't say how. They don't explain how. And I'm going to get into so many interesting bits in this video. And so what I'm going to do is that this channel must benefit me first, because I can't just sit here and talk, man. And so this is a workout channel primarily. And what I'm going to do is that I am going to do one exercise. Maybe you could join me if you want. I got it from Diamond Art. It's going to be core and shoulders. And so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to freaking get down and do just one exercise. And now, so anybody wants to hear the wisdom bits, I'm going to have chapters. So you know how to just scroll through the chapters. If you're not interested in the workout, you just want to hear me roast, I'm going to have a freaking serious roast. But first, I'm going to make it work for me, which means I'm going to get straight to the exercise. And so, here it is. Okay, that's round one. And so, okay, I'm ready for the roast, man. Okay, this roast here is the poor technique is just a floating freaking term that's been floating around for years, along with the this is right and that's wrong. And so this is something that we inherited because it feeds the self-esteem. Oh, that's wrong. You rarely hear them say, yeah, that's right, that's a good job. You have to see how that works. And so, oh no, that's wrong. And so even if they come across a right video, they don't say nothing, wait for something that they consider wrong so they can say, oh, that's wrong, so that they can feel that feeling of superiority, okay? Secondly, the likelihood that they'll explain like how to do it right is zero. Because thank you, man, for all the YouTubers and across all social media that has said, dude, you know, move into the workout. I saw that you were, straining another part, or you move your wrist this way so that you can get a better handle, and brace yourself in a way where you make the workout benefit you, okay? They don't do that. So that's number one, man. One, it feeds the ego, just saying you're wrong, I'm right. Second, they're not providing any like food for thought, any like, wow, let's try it this way, let's try it that way. And so it's windy, man. So beautiful. Okay, man, so roast number 2, right? Roast number 2 is that they don't know the human anatomy enough to at least ask. That exercise, it appears to be wrong based on how it was taught. What was the outcome? Have you ever been injured? Did you feel soreness? Did you feel it? Was it beneficial? They don't. And so it's just down to right or wrong. I'm going to give you an example. CT Fletcher, right? CT Fletcher has a problem with his elbow. And so he cannot extend his elbow like past here, I think. And so while he's doing bicep curls, he's stopping right there, obviously, because it hurts. But oh no, he did it wrong without them asking. And so they're limiting themselves from the scope of what's going on within someone's anatomy, someone's, like say, injury, because that's another thing. There's the question of whether someone gets injured or not is very, it's a weird question, because once you're dealing with bodybuilding, like, okay, here's what I'm trying to say. Find me one bodybuilder who's never been injured. I made my point already. You're not going to find it, because the nature of fitness and sports is freaking, the injury is freaking high, man. Even just with light stuff, you're prone to get injured. And so now here with this exercise, I felt my way into it, because I'm doing the lifts, and then I wanted to get a stretch, and so I'm stretching. And so what I'm doing is that I'm gauging the exercise based on how I feel. Not right or wrong or this or that, because of the way it ought to look, which is another crazy factor, which I'll get to after I get into the next round. And it's really freaking windy, man. It's really, really windy. And so the freaking wind, man, you've been good to me, so I'm not upset. I just hope that the casing is blocking the wind, so maybe you hear. Okay, man, so I'm back. I added more weight. I added 5 pounds each side, and so I'm gonna go ahead and bust out another set. Much better. I love the stretch. Yeah, baby. So I'm with the win. And so, okay, man, back to the roast. Poor technique. Oh, man. Okay, you know what? Okay, so now, life itself is freaking awkward, man. Try it. Carry a box. If you ever moved the chairs, the table, you know, freaking the weight of the boxes, they lean this way, they're awkward, they're this way, they're that way. And so if you take a look at real life, it's not. And so whoever invented that is freaking just crazy. Going back to CT Fletcher, I already tried it. I killed my biceps from here to here only. Also, I held them and I just because you can see it, man. And so that full range of motion nonsense is just another element that feeds the ego, where people need to say something in order to feel as to fit in, I guess. Because I don't see what's the point. Like, if I saw someone working out, I'll ask them, I'll inquire. I say, well, how's it going? Because I learned so much from the beginning of the sit-ups, of the crunches, and then they became wrong, and then this way, and that became wrong, and then you need to do it this way, and then you don't have to do the whole thing because the abs are like this, and they're not really the muscle like that, and so it's one sheet, and so you don't really have to, and so they went through the whole freaking ringer of it, that I learned to just do them all. They're freaking like crazy, like, yeah, the proper way to do abs, and so, you know, that's just it has to be a pet peeve, because someone got to come in to at least say, you know what, if I ever heard nonsense, is the poor technique nonsense, along with the right or wrong nonsense. And so I'm going to do another set and then talk about John Meadows. I got a little John Meadows nugget for you guys, man. Okay, John Meadows, the roast, bro. The roast continues, man. John Meadows, right? Even John Meadows got he's freaking his deltoid. I consider him the deltoid king because his deltoids were so freaking massive. And so, and he always, with the deltoids like this, the deltoids like that. And so, if you watch his videos, you're going to see. And so, they're telling him, oh no, that's wrong, this is wrong. An exercise where you lean over. But this is what he said. My deltoids were screaming the next day, so what are you on about? My deltoids were freaking screaming. If you're doing something wrong, the output should be just as bad. Like, you did it wrong, and so of course you're not going to get the results. But, you know, you got these guys that are telling freaking people that look incredible that they're doing the exercise wrong. Meanwhile, they're wearing freaking a work of art that they've developed, and that work of art they're blind to it. Because I have to shut up. If I see someone with a spectacular body, Brandon Carter, and he says, dude, I've been doing chest like this, I'll be like, okay, can we do it together? It's called using your wits, bro. The freaking guy is, whether right or wrong, bro. Now, here's another bit, bro. If it's wrong, if they're doing it wrong and building a beautiful body, then this means you're wrong. How can you be wrong and build a beautiful body? You know what I mean? It's like incredible, bro. Even this guy who V-shred, or G-shred, whatever, he V-shred, he has a freaking awesome body, man. So he's doing everything wrong, and he has a great body. So that's a freaking new one for me. Like, just do those wrong things to get an incredible body. Do it all wrong, bro. And so, I'm going to get back into the freaking diamond art. I got this from Diamond Art. The stretch. Oh yeah. This is my last workout before I close the month. Tomorrow's July 1st. And so, okay, I felt a little thing here, right? You have to be careful. Make sure that, but I'm cool. Okay, you saw that? That question is more important than bad technique. It's like, yo, is your shoulder okay with that exercise? Be careful that you don't freaking, there's certain exercise that you could do right, but if you freaking tax the joint, it can still be bad for you. Doing the right exercise, because it depends on all the factors. Are you nourished enough? Is your joints lubricated from a healthy diet that's keeping them lubricated for you enough to go ahead and tax them like that? There's so many factors. And so the eye to look at something and pre-decide whether, because I tell you, I have taken on exercises that if I freaked out over, because there's some exercises that I said, that's so easy, couldn't do it. Then there's some exercises that look so difficult, and when I went to do it, I did it, which means the eye, if I left it up to the eye and didn't do anything about it, I will always live under the impression that, oh yeah, that exercise, I never did it but I never tried it, you see? And so these freaking guys, with right or wrong, they're freaking like, I have to consider them as, like, say, they don't have the esteem to question nor provide something like, hey man, that because the guy who said very poor technique, it wasn't this exercise, it was a Sam Sulek exercise, right? And so the Sam Sulek exercise is very difficult because it's lat. And so, in the beginning you try it, and I found myself pulling with my arm, and after a while I started to see that I had to let go of this here and start seeing if I could engage the lats only. That made me move in, that made me do this, and so I'm doing 30 minutes of freaking lat exercises, and so I moved around so much because it's a feel. When you're out there running, it's a feel. You get to see how you can run effectively, efficiently. Like, should you swing? How is it? Like, there's so many factors involved. There's a certain type of, let's say, pump in the calf area while you're running. There's a certain way that you step. There's so many different factors, and so just to look at someone and say, he's running wrong. The way he runs has a poor technique is so short-sighted, because I'm not seeing the guy is tall, so his legs are longer. This one is short, so he can move faster. And so there's so many variables. And so this here, what I'm trying to do now is, if anyone made it this far, don't listen to that stuff. And develop your self-esteem to a point where you could provide a questioning mode of input. Like, I would comment with a question so that I could get fed back. Because for all I know, the guy's been doing that exercise for 20 years and he's freaking rocking it, and it looks all wrong, and I could benefit from it, but I'm not going to benefit from it if I'm just saying that it's wrong and walking away. I want to inquire, because it could be something that I could factor into my workouts. And who is that going to enhance? The factor of whether something's right or wrong, or me, you know what I mean? And so, hey man, what's going on over here? And so, this here, I exercise. If you see where I'm placing my arms, I could do it this way, but that's not good for me. And so I place it right here, up. Oh boy, okay, so now I felt that in close. So this is a good example right here while I'm doing this workout. There's guys that I can't hold my arms out because I can feel a problem right there, you see? And so, should I do that because you consider it proper form? Oh, you have to hold it out like this. And meanwhile, I'm freaking in pain. And so I hold it out here because that's where I'm at with my body. And if I see that it starts to hurt, I move my arms in more. I'm not gonna have that stuff rip. You know what I mean? And so the anatomy is one thing where we can't tell. A really good trainer would say, let me see you work out. Let me see your capabilities. Let me see your ranges of motion, your flexibility. And then he will incorporate exercises that'll suit you. But if he takes out a rule book and says, I trained this guy like that, so I'm going to train you like that, he's terrible. I'm telling you, I won't go with him. I will not go with him at all because he's following methods and techniques that he gave to someone else. And so those techniques now he's going to apply to this body, and it could be very dangerous for him to now just follow suit. And you know what I'm saying? So So, man, for the guy who wrote Very Poor Technique, I hope you go, oh, man, you know what? That's true. Like, oh, he's going to stay that way. Oh, no, it's wrong. Because you know the ego, the pride, will have someone fight. They'll fight for it because if they inquire properly, it's like them giving in. Because then they lose their status. Part of their status is just to feel inside that they're saying you did it wrong, and then they'll argue with it. And so if anyone's watching this, you don't want to do that. You want to be a student, and you want to take a bit from Anthony Max, a bit from John Meadows, a bit from Greg Doucette, a bit from the whole freaking lot, man. Take it all, man. Don't limit yourself to that. Oh, one guy, one way, and you know your workouts are gonna be so much fun and interesting if you just branch out and you get yourself to a point where you are free. Like when you go shopping and you come back with bags, the bags never weigh the same ever. So that's nonsense about, you know, unbalanced, and you have to, that's a freaking nonsense, man. You move, you carry stuff, boxes and all that stuff. These boxes are awkward. If you deal with equipment, the equipment is all lopsided, and that's the freaking real juice of the reality that it's not balanced. 10 pounds. I purposely use unbalanced weights and then I switch like I would in real life. Because real life calls for that. It does not call for, you have to make sure that, you know, you don't lose the balance and the freaking nonsense, man. And so there's too much nonsense out there, man, and not enough people saying, you know what? Asking, yo, I saw you do those exercises, man. Tell me, is it going good for you? That's a freaking question, because I could go, yeah, man, and then by then, we could get into the point where I may go, hey, you know what? If you have any pointers, please pass them on. Because there's nothing like enhancing stuff like this very exercise right here. If you say, yo, dude, move your things like this, I'll take it all. But what am I going to do with very poor technique? Very poor technique. Oh man, so I think I covered every single thing. It's 26 minutes. I'll probably shut it off in another 4 minutes just to call this a nice 30-minute workout. You see, it's just this. It's core. I feel it in my chest. Working out to the point where I'm like this. It's not crazy because I'm backing off of the crazy exercises because it's getting in the way of my normal life when I'm so sore. So I get sore. I was getting sore up to 4 days. And so I'm trying to play with kids in the park and I'm limping because my legs are so sore. I decided to do legs before going to a playground. Stupid idea. And so now what I do is that I don't work out at all before I go to a playground so that I could, and see, it works because yesterday I went to this playground. I played for over 2 hours with kids. And I had so much energy because the energy was there for me because I did not freaking use it all up the night before. And went to the playground all sore. And so, you know, this is something that is helping me out with life, which is the key, you know. So, what if I freaking get this here? And see right now, I'm maneuvering the weight so that it works for me, so that I don't tax my left shoulder. Okay, see? So right there and then I was very careful, making sure that I'm starting to feel it here, so I have to now start to easy. This is always giving me problems, by the way. You know, always. And so it comes with the territory, man. Like I said, find me one freaking bodybuilder that's never been injured, and I'll give you a free trip to Rome. I'll give you a free trip to Rome and Italy and freaking Rome is in Italy. I'll give you a free trip around the world. If you can find me one bodybuilder, or for actually any freaking sports guy free from injury, bro. I just took 5 pounds off each side so that I could do the last murderous set here, and then that's it for this workout. So, man, in closing, what I want to say is that for me, there's no such thing as right or wrong. There's no poor technique or whatever. What I do is when I face an exercise, I say, how do you do it? How do you do it? And I take a look, and then I work out with the various ways that it's done. So I take on, and let's say do biceps with Chris Bumstead, biceps with Ronnie Coleman, biceps with Greg Doucette, biceps with whoever. And then I know. Because I felt my way through it. I tried it slow, I tried it fast, I tried it full range of motion, I tried it with eccentrics, I tried it with static, I tried it with all the different ways that we work out, which means I'm working out. That's it. And that there's no more to just trying to pre-decide and predetermine that some exercise is executed correctly. Excuse me, is not executed correctly. Yo. Last thing, I don't count. Counting is stupid. I don't get the point. My muscles are in charge. My muscles decide. When my muscles say it gives up, either way, then it gives up. You know what I'm saying? Yo, the finisher, man. And so, anyway, man, so if anybody hung out with me, thank you, bro. And if I'd love to hear your comments about how you feel about, oh, it's wrong. Tell me what I'm doing is wrong too, bro. I'll pray for you. So anyway, this wraps up my workout, and into the next one. I feel it. I'm sweating. My chest is activated even. My shoulders, my core got a nice workout. And until the next one, I am done.